Yeah, it's about to be a great interview. Check out what we're about to talk about. Also, make sure you follow Belanle Media. Make sure you follow Roselyn Omaka. She is the next, and to me, already the greatest host, spokeswoman in the world. Y'all thought Oprah was bad, man. Y'all have no idea. Y'all thought Wendy was bad, man. Y'all have no idea. This one right here is the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we about to dive into this little interview. And I'm very excited, man. Let me get up.
I guess Aaron Spells.
Roselyn Omaka.
Aaron Spells. Wait, sit up. Come on now. Come on.
I'm trying to.
I know you at home. We like fam. Yeah. But I will say, hey, Will. That's my buddy.
Hey, Will.
I will say that Aaron Spells, I am super happy. And I'm super happy that you were here in my home and we're finally getting this conversation on camera. So we're having this talk.
Yeah, I'm first and foremost, Rose, like, thank you for allowing me to be on the podcast and talk about my side of, certain subjects, certain topics. Belanle Media is the where you can find your top source. So, if you really want to know some details in the world and want to know like women, I look at Belanle Media as that source, close to that CNN /
We're growing.
Yeah,
We're on our way.
yeah. No, you're doing it. You're doing it. And every step, I support. I'm very proud of you and what you have grown in Belanle Media, and also giving us creatives, politicians, activists, all of the above, an opportunity to speak on those type of topics. So yeah.
Man, I definitely want to say, before we talk about your amazing controversial movie, I'm going to say, because I know you're going to make some people probably upset if they see it, and other people be like, yes, I love this movie. I also want to thank you for being at the Houston Comedy Film Festival, teaching your first masterclass.
Yeah.
Talk about what the topic was, producing on a budget. Mm-hmm. Can you give people like a snippet about what you spoke about? Because I know you want to do more into teaching.
Yeah, producing on a budget is not just about, looking for money or it's really about your resources, so we talked about just basically looking what's in front of you, looking what's in front of you, what's who's the people you can call on, what people do you, locations do you already have? And that type of stuff will break down your budget and keeping you on a budget. Producing a film on a budget wasn't about, hey, yeah, we're going to try to keep it as cheap as possible. No, it was like, we're going to try to save as much as possible, right? Because it can get to an expense, right? Whatever that expense may be, but it won't be, Hollywood grade expensive, right? It will be a Hollywood quality. Right, you get the Hollywood quality, but not the Hollywood.
No, wait. Hollywood does a really good job at wasting money, I will say.
Definitely do. Definitely do. They be creating and shooting scenes that they throw away. So I absolutely agree.
So let's talk about it. Pigs, Perpetrators, and Government Systems. Your movie, it is available on Amazon Prime. It's available on Tubi. Are there other platforms that it's on?
Yes, it's on Pluto. It's on Apple TV. It's on Roku. It's on Fave Awesome. It's on a few other platforms, like 17 of them actually.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
I know you worked very, very hard on that.
You have no idea.
Man, and I will say we're in an interesting time in the world right now. And so when it comes down to Perpetrators and Government Systems, aka Pigs, can you talk and tell everyone a little bit more about your movie?
Yeah, so Perpetrators and Government Systems dive deep into these brothers who are having an average day. One is a lawyer, another one is a top scholar in his school who gets a scholarship to go off to college and just do well for his life. And he wants to follow in the footsteps of not only his parents, but his older brother who is an attorney in the community, and he's a well-known attorney, you know what I'm saying? But the day take a turn once they get pulled over by a regular traffic stop, and they get encountered with the police, and the police basically do some harassinations at with one of the brothers' life get taken. With that being happened, one of the brothers basically go on the perspective of a Malcolm X perspective and decides to not retaliate, but to find justice in a way that the law does not, the law actually does create justice with toxicity, but he created justice in a reality space of what could be realistic, right? So my whole thought process of it is when the government is blurring the lines of what justice and injustice is, this to us, to the people, to society, what is really just and unjust when it's retaliated back to justice.
I know that right now, even with this administration, with the Trump administration,
Mhm.
there's a lot of upset people right now that feel like things are so, right leaning to the extreme, where they feel like all of the injustices that they're experiencing right now,
Yeah.
they feel like they possibly need to take things into their own hands.
Yeah.
And so, are there any personal stories that that you can maybe relate to when it comes down to the creation of this film?
Yeah, I guess I could talk about how this even came about. When I was in college, I wasn't I wasn't getting pulled over. I was already pulled over. I was waiting for a young lady I was talking to at the time to come out of her dorm, and the cops, you know, they pulled over behind me, flashed their lights and told me to get out of the car. For what? I don't know. But I got out of the car, needless to say, and they told me to get to the trunk of the car. And then they asked me to discover, not discover, but reveal myself by pulling down my pants and underwear. Well, I didn't even have underwear because it was nighttime, but pulling down my pants in public on campus for everybody to see and to cough and all that stuff. And I'm guessing,
What?
yeah, yeah, yeah. This was my first
That's
traffic stop.
humiliating.
Super, super humiliating, super belittling, super unhumanized. Like I was just so dehumanized that I was raging, right? I was so enraged. But shout out to the black women. The black woman I was talking to came out and was my hero. I was actually crying when I was outside, you know what I'm saying, when it was asking me to do these things because I didn't understand. I asked him, what did I do? I asked him, was I being arrested and all these things? And he was like, nope, just do what we say. And she came out going off on him, and I just felt helpless. I felt real helpless, and I just took that I took that energy because I really wanted to find out something to do. I'm from New Orleans, so my mind going to if I find these cops, I'm gonna handle them. You know what I'm saying? Or if they're not wearing a badge, then I have the right to whip their ass. So can I curse on them? Okay, yeah, I have the right to whip their ass, and so I was just like, but the Lord used that, um, and it was crazy because it was around 2015.
Why did they even pull you over?
I still don't know. They didn't say
Were you speeding?
no. How was I speeding when I was parked?
So you were
I was
parked.
already parked.
You were just chilling in your car.
That's it.
What were the questions? I'm just curious if you remember, I'm pretty sure you remember a lot of things. Were they asking you any sort of questions to even lead to that point?
No questions. It was literally just actions, actions after action. Get out of your car, step to your trunk. And I'm the one asking the questions, but I'm not getting any answers besides the man. And then I'm like, hey man, I'm here picking up my lady. And then I heard them pulling out, one grabbing the gun. And I was just like, look, bro, I don't want to get shot. He's like, well, do what we say. So this was in Huntsville, Texas. And in Huntsville, Texas, it's a bit, crazy out there when it comes down to the police and the racism and the justice system being there, being that that's where people have the death penalty and you got the penitentiary out there. So, it's a lot of judicial trauma and craziness out there. And I just never thought I was going to be the victims in that type of interaction. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a college student trying to get a nut.
Yeah. I'm really sorry that happened to you. Luckily, I mean, it's not luckily, this did happen at night. There
Mhm.
weren't a lot of were there a lot of witnesses around?
Well, people were walking out of their dorms and stuff. We was right across multiple dorms. So I was in a dorm parking lot somewhat, and then uh, they had people outside the dorm just hanging, and they had people on the other side hanging out in their dorm. So they was just outside looking at everything.
And so I would say, was that the cherry on top that sparked the fire for you to be able to recreate and tell this story?
Yeah, absolutely. I always try to take my anger and then take it and put it into some type of art, right? Via if it's dancing, writing music, painting. So for this one, God said, turn it into a movie.
Mm.
And so I was like,
Have you ever done a movie before this?
I've done a lot of short films. I've done a lot of web series, stuff like that, but I never made a feature film. So for him to start giving me images and vision of a movie based on this. And not only that, it was more of like, this is going to be my retaliation because I have the freedom to speak through my art.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Beautiful.
yeah.
I'm even thinking to myself, whenever you're creating this, did it cause any sort of like pain, drama in the back while you were retelling these stories? What did that feel like?
Honestly, it did not. It actually created relief, right? Because, sometimes we bottle that stuff in. And I'm a quick forgiver. I'm not a forgetter, but I'm a quick forgiver because I'm not a person that hold on to a lot of trauma. I'm very calm, I'm very collected. I hate issues or drama and stuff like that. I'm like all about peace in myself. So with that, I didn't hold on to it but once I started writing, it was like, yes, I cried moments. Yes, I saw things that was very impactful, when I was writing it and got to see the expression, but I felt like I was crying on the paper and the paper would then express what everybody else is feeling. Cause Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin, a lot of different individuals was being killed in that time frame. And, I just kept asking the question in my next. After that situation, I really was like in my next because now I'm 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 ready for war. Somebody asked me that shit again. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I wanted to create a project that will give some people realism, but also a sense of relief. Because, in 2020-ish, right? No, not 2020. That's when COVID happened. When we start having all those black uh exploitation films coming out with police brutality and stuff like that.
Can you explain a little bit more for anyone that's listening that doesn't understand the black exploitation?
Yeah, so we have films such like Queen and Slim. Exploitation is basically an example or a visual of what's happening or going on in our society, right? And a lot of people express themselves in that, right? So for me, they was having a lot of police brutality films being shown, but at the end of it, the person always got killed. Which then, for a black person watching that, is like, well, I'm gonna die anyway.
It's very interesting whenever you
You
say
know.
this because your movie definitely has a different ending that I feel like many people would actually be low key happy on the inside of getting their revenge per se. And so
Absolutely.
I know you would honestly piss off a lot of people that are Blue Lives Matter. What are your thoughts and opinions on that?
It's interesting because I had a lot of people that's Blue Lives Matter watch this film,
Oh wow, what were their
and
thoughts?
their thoughts was like, this is accurate. They understood it. Yeah, it was very interesting that they say that. It was like, yo, your film, it makes sense. It said, I couldn't imagine a person walking off doing this to my family. And I couldn't live with myself knowing that this person is walking free after. And then it's crazy because you're starting to see more and more cases. They're not talking about it, but you're starting to see more and more cases of polices, not just losing their lives, but losing family because of their actions to another person's family. And there was just an article, I think a few months ago, if not a year ago, where this officer killed the son of a dad and he didn't get charged or nothing. And then not trying to say like, do this, but he then waited for the daughter's prom of the officer and shot her dead at prom and sat there and waited and said, now we have an eye for an eye.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Wow. What is the messaging? I know for people that are watching the film, I'm going to generalize it into white and into black.
Yeah.
And so, what is the message that you would want the black community to take away watching your film? I'm gonna start with that question.
The message that I want is this is a warning of, be careful, not just be careful, understand your laws. Also, a lot of this stuff can be prevented. Just let them do their job, basically how to do it right. Right. Because at the end of the day, you want to live at the end of the day. You don't want to be rational. They could be having a horrible day. They could also be saying like mentally ill, these officers, because they're selecting whatever. So my whole point of writing this film in the first place was to give warning to society that if we keep going in a route that we're going, black or white, then we're going to find ourselves in a space of confusion of what's just and unjust. And I think that's what society is wanting us to think. It's like, hey, black against white, but really it's not black against white. It's Americans versus the government that is trying to put this propaganda on us, black versus white. You know what I'm saying? That's a propaganda. Like we are a human race. You know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't be black or white. It should be a human race. It's not about, in my film, there's a black and white officer. You know what I'm saying? But the white officer is, because of his privileged side of it, he was a little more prideful and egotistic. But that comes with the society that we live in. It's a lot of things that is like, hey, I could get away with these type of things. I'm not going to get punished if I do this. But black, we get punished for a lot of things that you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So because of all this, it's just more about like, we have to be aware of what's coming, what journey is coming this way. And I think the journey that's coming this way is that they're wanting us to create our own World War III. And with that, either we have to come together and understand that we have to unite, or we're going to die. Right. And you see that nugget in the film a lot too, unite or die. Is because if you don't unite and unite in efforts of change, right? Like not allowing the things to just happen. Right. A lot of times we go and protest and walk and shout and scream when somebody get killed. And then once they give the person a check, a bag, or put one cop in jail, then it's like, oh, we got what we wanted, justice served. No, that was a Band-Aid on the wound.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they're not going to think about it no more. We got to keep ripping that Band-Aid and say, no, it's still a bruise under there. It's still a cut under there. You know what I'm saying? It's still a deep vessel under there that you cut. It's not, this is nothing to just be sealed up, put some ointment on and be done with. You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to be aware of that and be very, very radical for change. You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors done so much for radical change. They done a lot of radical things to get change. Like not riding a bus. Like, yo, what? You decided not to ride the bus, the whole city, just so that y'all can change something? That's radical. That's super radical. You know what I'm saying? You decided to stand for hours until somebody got out of jail? That's radical. Like, we're not doing that now. Yeah, you may do a protest, but you going home afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to do the protest every day? I mean, if they don't do no change, would you protest for 365 days?
Yeah.
Until you get it? That's just so I look at it like we have to have radical change. And I'll say this in this interview, because Belonley Media get access to Aaron Spell's radical mind. You could quote that. If you won't know anything about Aaron Spells, it's here on Belonley Media. And this is what I think we should do as a people. If you want to see change, we need to really radicalize a law that says that a life for a life. If a person can get life sentence for murder, right? Then, and you putting your life on the line, when you sign that oath said my life is for the American people, right? So if you're putting your life on the line for the American people, but then you take a life of an American person, you should then lose your life.
Mm.
An innocent person. Now, I can understand if the person shooting at you back to back to back and then you killed the person. Cool, you good.
Mm.
But if you kill an innocent person that pays you, right? Then it should be automatically you lose your life. The reason why I say this, go ahead.
Okay, I don't want to interrupt you. Keep going.
And the reason why I say this is because if you put a penalty that high to those individuals, and that's with any part of government. That's judges, that's medical, that's polices, that's presidents, if you are detrimental to the human race, society, you are toxic, you are women because you got a badge on, you're killing people, that, you should automatically get killed. You should not killed. You should automatically get the death penalty because you signed the oath saying you will protect and you will serve. And that don't sound like no protecting and serving.
Can I ask you a question? So even within some of the things that you're saying, for anybody the people that do disagree with you and your thoughts, like with, let's say, a certain type of community, Blue Lives Matter. For the people that they're hearing everything you're saying, but they still are just resisting, what do you have to say to those individuals?
What would you do if it was your children? What would you do if it was your daughter? What would you do if you knew a person that you called a brother in blue, your little daughter, because she just was walking around by herself and she wasn't doing nothing, or she had alcohol in her purse, and oh, we got alcohol in your purse. Now in the back of in your cop car, she gets. But hey, y'all on the same side. What would you do? What would you do? What would you do? Like, answer that question. What would any one of y'all do? Would y'all just sit there and be like, that's my brother in blue. You my daughter.
And it's interesting because I will say it's interesting.
You killed my son.
Yes. Something I'm thinking about,
What
it's
would
like
you do?
we have that direct approach. What would you do? And then what is also your response when it comes down to, again, the movie Pigs, perpetrators in government systems? It's not just even cops per
Right.
se.
No, we're not
It's
talking
also,
about that.
I know, I understand, but it's also, you have judges, you have dirty judges, and you also have dirty lawyers. So you have these communities that are working together that are going to stick together no matter what.
I think for anybody that's listening to this, especially on that side, I think, well, I don't even care about the side because that side know that they're free to do these things unless they get caught. But it's for us, the people, the human race people, to say enough is enough. And to say enough is enough, we want a bill that states that, hey, if they are trying to harm us, poison us, kill us, then, and we find out about it, and y'all find out about it, there's no ifs and buts about it. They should get the death penalty. Because they killed so many people. They sickened so many people. Don't say they mentally ill. We don't need no more mentally ill patients. We need to clear it up. We don't need our tax money to go to these ill people.
My question for you is, with Pigs, what do you want people to take away from watching this movie?
Be prepared. Because if we don't do nothing to change that scenario now, right? Because it's going to be more and more, it's going to be more and more people seeing justice as seeing that unjust is justice. You're going to start, because the people that are supposed to be doing justice is doing the unjust.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a felony president. We have
as a president?
You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a felon as a president right now. Yes. That's a big blur line for everybody in America. Everybody like, what? Bro, I did all these things. Man, I could probably become president now. Like, make it make sense. And you think, they say this all the time, man. A leader, you are who you follow. And if America follows or have a leader that represents, then look at everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So it's so I just laugh at this because it's like, yo, what are we doing, people? Why are we so focused on media and entertainment and yo, our lives is at stake right now.
It's a distraction.
It's such a distraction.
I love the fact that what you did with this movie, you started a conversation to wake people up.
Have to. You know, the Lord is saying, be the salt and the light of the world. And the salt is to stop decay, right? Let me break it down in context. When he said to be the salt of the world, in that time, salt was used as a preservative to save the meat from dying and decaying, right? They didn't have refrigerators. They didn't have none of that. So they would get salt was really most valuable than anything in the world because that was it. Once you killed that lamb and you try to eat that lamb, you will put it in salt so it don't decay. So when he say be the salt of the world, that means be the person that stopped decay. Be the individual that stops decay. Be the blessed people that stop the world from decaying. Be righteous, right? And then be the light. There will be darkness. This world is full of darkness. And we're making the darkness yes and yes and yes. We're giving into it. We're giving up. Another killing. Like we're starting to get, they're making it
Numb.
so numb to death. You know what I'm saying? That it's just another one. It's just another one of us. Until it's one of your children. Until it's your household that they running into. Until, you know what I'm saying? They're with ISIS and all that, bro. It's just like, bro, they're making it numb. And then next thing you know, oh, we did it with the Mexicans. Now let's do it with the blacks. Oh, we did it with the blacks. Let's now do it with the Asians. Matter of fact, let's rewind it. We did it with the Indians, the actual natives of this land. So tell me when that is going to be done. So perpetrators in government systems is actually a warning to everybody that, hey, the lines are being blurred. And this is to government too. You know, the lines are being blurred and we know that you're playing with us and we're paying attention. But I know that there's people because I know what I felt that day when I was like out when they did that to me. I know what I felt inside. And I knew like the blues it's their gang too. You know, they're a gang too. So you gonna call us gangsters when truthfully y'all are the gangsters, y'all are the thugs, y'all are the ones with the badge that can walk around here and do whatever y'all feel like. Make it make sense. Because for me, I'm gonna protect mine regardless. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna protect mine regardless. That badge don't mean to me. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I don't even want to get that way because you're supposed to be who I trust, who I could call on and say, hey, something is going on in my household or something going on with this person or whatever. Can you come save this? Can you come protect this? You know?
So, for anyone that's listening and when they watch this episode, how can they watch Pigs? So, we already talked about Apple TV, we talked about Tubi, and the other streaming platforms. What's next for you now that you have done Pigs?
Well, what's next for me is to start teaching. God called me to be a shepherd. So I want to start teaching others how to tell a story, how to produce their stories, how to really get their story out in a cinematic way. That's one. Another thing is, you know, being a shepherd and basically showing like my perseverance, you know, my story. I'm about to share more of my story, share more of what I've been through and how I overcame it. And
A cinematic approach to the movie space? Are you gonna do another movie?
I am gonna do right now. I'm writing a show, and that's gonna show a little bit of like some things that I've been thinking about. But I don't think I'm gonna do a cinematic way. I think this is gonna be more of a journal testimonial type way, more of a streamer type way versus like a story or biopic or anything like that, documentary. Eventually, I believe we're going to get there, but I'm not going to focus on that right now.
Okay. No, but I'm really happy and I'm honored that you came. You flew all the way from Atlanta back to Houston, and we are having this again. Just thank you for even traveling to come here. So I'm grateful for you, and I'm excited. Man, are there any last words or anything that you would like to say to whoever's watching?
continue to be a light amongst many beasts. There's so many beasts out here, so many demons, darkness out here. Be the light among many beasts, lamb, right? Be the
Absolutely.
lamb. And not only just that, continue to be prayed up. It's more of a spiritual warfare than anything. In this society, it's a lot of ancient demons running around and just want destruction,
Chaos and
chaos and
confusion.
confusion. Yes. Yes, there's so much of that. And, with the Lord, there's no confusion. There's no chaos. It's actually peace. And I come to find that, and I come to kind of wield that and like hold that in my heart, because man, it's so easy to be negative. It's so easy to fall into whatever.
Definitely, especially on social media.
Yeah.
And I know there'll be interesting comments by the time we post this interview.
Oh man, it's good. I'm not looking for them.
I hear you.
I'm not looking for them because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What society is about to bring you, that matters. And what I say is, what are you teaching your kids? What are you teaching yourself? What are you looking at the trajectory of things, man? They're about to bring AI robots into the world. Like, are you prepared for that? That's important to me. Our preparation. A lot of people ain't prepared. They just let the shit come to us, and the next thing you know, oh my God. No, they've been told you years ago. They told you when iRobot came out. But guess what? You didn't look at it as, oh, that's a warning. Oh no. Nah, that was a fucking warning. I took it as a warning. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like we, especially black people, we just, oh, it has nothing to do with me, so I ain't gonna worry about it. No, 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 no. Shout out to the white people, man. They be really focused on what the about to happen. Like what? Homies got bunkers and everything already. They ain't playing no games. We be, oh, and if it come on my block, I got the gat. No, bro. You ain't gonna say that when they drop a noose or open up a levee or something. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was prepared for Katrina. None of that. Like, they would do that. You ain't prepared for them to say, hey, we're gonna build a bridge through your neighborhood. They do. This is what we live in. Hey, you're not gonna say that. You're not gonna say nothing when they say we want to make a lake here and we're gonna flood y'all and make Lake Lanier. You're not prepared for that. This is the thing that I'm saying. Like, you have to put yourself in preparation, and you have to put yourself in a place where it's like, I won't tolerate this from y'all again. So uniting is the best way. Coming together as a community is the best way. Starting to fund small black businesses and starting to fund each other is important.
And also treating each other with the respect like you would anyone else.
Absolutely. The golden rule: treat your neighbor as you would treat yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I'll go a little further. Support your neighbor as you would support yourself. You feel me? Like, that's why with you, Rose, like, I support you fully because I see myself. I know where you about to head because I know where I'm headed. You know what I'm saying? So it just comes to the point where it's like, you find your tribe and you hold that tribe and you go with that tribe, because if these zombies start walking around here, I know who I'm ganging up with. Fort Knox. Like, that's how it's going to be. I'm telling you.
Man.
I'm coming straight, get my family, come get Rose and Tide, my boy Dakari. We're gonna break into a mansion and we holding it down.
Man, I will say thank you for coming. And I definitely am so excited for more people to discover and watch your film. And man, I'm going to already go ahead and say cheers for 2026.
Let's go.
Regardless what that TV says, big things are coming.
Hey, that thing is coming. And the thing I realize, for those that are in the space of trying to create or have created and they feel like their stuff is not being shown, what I've come to learn, and this is recent, is that it's in you first. It's not the project. You have to put yourself out first. So I'm putting myself out more, and what comes out of me, well, then people go check out the project. Because they like, who is this guy? I like how he talk.
Yes.
Who is his person? His personality is awesome. Or, hey, he has something interesting to say. I want to see what he's about. Oh, he did a movie. Then that's when people are going to flood the movie. It's not about them. I realize it's not about, what they say, it's not about the talent. You can have talent. It's about how hard you work to to sharpen your skills and how hard you persevere through trials and tribulations. But like I tell people all the time, nothing to TP. Nobody really, TP is TP. Shout out to Tyler Perry, but we really are supporting him because of the drive and the story he shared with us. Like that man's hard work, you can't take away. And so we support that. We support whatever he do because he's a man that persevered through a lot of. And that's what I'm realizing is like, yo, I need to start telling my story. I need to start sharing my downs and my ups. I need to share all that because that is what's important to sharing healing people, actually. Healing people. That's what heal people, your testimony. I have a friend. Was that you? Was it you, Rose? I'm trying to say, did you ever tell me who says this? Who said this? Okay, I'm gonna say it. I can't say it. I don't know who said it. But I remember somebody saying this to me. They said, a person there's people out there that is not activated until they hear your voice. And it made so much sense to me once they said it. God made all of us voice activated. We get activated by others. But you can hear it from your mom, you can hear it from your dad, but you won't get activated. You be like, But as soon as somebody outside say the same thing, you like, Mom, Dad, guess what this person? And your mom like, I've been saying that for years. I've been saying this you may say this to your husband or your boyfriend, but somebody else will say it. Oh, babe, I said that to you 2 weeks ago. But what the Lord did, and when they said it to me, it hit me because it was like, there's people out there in the world waiting for Aaron Spells to speak. There's people out in the world that's going to be activated when Rose speak. There's people in the world that is going to be activated when they hear Todd speak. They not going to get activated by me and you. But if Todd speak, he just showed me life differently. If Rose speak, he just showed me life differently. If Aaron speaks, he just showed me life. So out there, and this is going to all the audience, find your ministry. Ask the Lord what's your ministry so that you can use your ministry to then speak to people to activate them. Because he uses us to activate another person. That's why he says iron sharpens iron. And it's only when we speak, that's when you're really going to gain your sheep. That was a rhyme.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Aaron. And how can people stay in touch with you?
Yeah, you can follow me on all platforms as Director Aaron Spells. You can look up Aaron Spells on Google. You can check out Perpetrators in Government Systems on a platform near you. Just type it in your search engine and it should pop up, man. You can also look up spellsproductions.com where we and my company and I can help you with your digital media needs. It's also help you produce your first film document. If you're in Atlanta, come check us out at the Success Center, where it's basically an event center, but we do talk show, podcast, all types of events there. And there's a lot of other things rolling out. I got a lot of merchandise coming out soon. And yeah, a lot of different things. So definitely tap in. If you got any questions, tap in. I'm about to start a course and a class and got some free webinars on the way. So zone in, tap in, and we about to have this thing rolling all 2026.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time. And I see.
And also, so make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment underneath for Balanle, right? Make sure you tell people about this new media source so that you can learn everything you need. And then this is the thing. Coming here to Balanle Media, it was I had such an amazing time with Roselyn Omaka. Make sure you like, subscribe, tune in, share, comment, send it to all your friends and family because this episode here was hot. Go ahead and drop a like right now. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. And make sure you just tune in. Yo, Balanle Media, thank y'all so much. Here it is.
God, thank you for this day. Thank you for the food. Thank you for the hands that prepared the food. Most of all, thank you for life. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. I need both of you to understand that there's power, there's strength in numbers. And your king is nothing without the community.
Yo, Trust. Good, Tweet.
Congratulations on the win, man.
I appreciate it, brother.
Keep up the good work, bro.
Appreciate it,
We
brother.
really appreciate you in this community, dog.
Ace, you can do great things to help progress your people. Just like your brother.
May I ask why we're being pulled over?
I'll be the one asking the questions.
Look, I'm a lawyer. I can show you my card right here.
Put your hands up! Both of you!
Today we greet one of our brothers. The time for rage is tomorrow.
Pick your head up. Your mommy and daddy touching everybody's lives. Ace doing the same.
Tonight or die.
Protests have erupted in at least 40 countries over the death of an unarmed black teen, Ace Shakur, at the hands of a police officer.
Resistance means we resist anything and anyone detrimental to our people as a whole. We believe in resistance over acceptance.
The fact that corruption is not only in this city, but it's in every city across this nation. And we are tired. We're tired of being the victim, only to be labeled the suspect.
I am the man now. 10 toes, we walk away. Ain't nobody taking our place. We've been through some hard times, kicked down, but look at us now.